Hey, this is Lorena, and I wanted to do a set of videos for you on how I started working from home. A lot of you message me on Facebook or on YouTube, and you ask me questions about one, my machine, two, you ask me questions about how I market myself, and also two, you ask me some business questions. So I've been doing this for quite a while. I believe I've been doing this since 2000. I was doing embroidery work for clients in 2000, and I started longarm quilting in 2008. So I hope this set of videos that I'm going to start creating really does help you in making a decision if you want to do this, okay? So this video is going to be more about making decisions on purchasing your machine, and also too, this video is kind of connected on what kind of decisions are you wanting your business to look like. So I wanted to share some of the lessons I've learned. Also, I wanted to share how I made some certain goals and planned as I made those goals, I made decisions on my machines that I purchased. So I really do hope that this series helps you if you're on the fence of wanting to start working from home. You're kind of just unsure if you want to. And so I just wanted to share some ideas and some of the viewpoints that I have. And so yeah, I really do hope you like this video. I'll talk to you in the talking. All right? Yeah. Some of you asked me some questions concerning starting an embroidery business or starting a longarm quilting business and how you make a decision on what machine to use. What is your goal of why you're doing what you're doing? And that's a really key element, because once you know your goal of where you want to go, then you can decide on what machine you need. For example, my goal has always been to have some business, like make a large amount of hats, have a fast turnaround. I initially started with a single needle embroidery machine, and I found that I couldn't really start advertising to do work for people because it took so long to embroider just a name on a blanket. My goal was to not just do it as a hobby, but I wanted to do it as a business. That is huge. Your decision on why you're doing this and what your intentions are at the end are more valuable than where you are now. Where you are now, maybe initially you're getting a machine and it's more than you need, but there's the potential to grow in your company and your machine can handle the growth. When I had a single needle embroidery machine, it couldn't handle not even a little bit of growth. It was more me embroidering on my machine, and it was more hobby. I do recommend that if you're going to do embroidery, do not get a single needle embroidery machine and pay $10,000 for it. I'm sorry, Bernina. I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry. If you're going to spend that kind of money, buy a 6-needle embroidery machine that's $6,000 and buy yourself a little really fancy little fun sewing machine, because that kind of money, it's a lot of money for a machine that's not going to give you the turn or investment. It's not going to give you back the money you've invested into it. It's going to be more of a hobby type of thing than it's going to be a big bulk rate getting things done quickly on a single needle. Think about how you want to invest your money. I invested my money on 2 machines. Initially, I did it with one. It cost me $5,000. And let me just say this, my machine has paid me back every year what I've put into it, plus more. That's why I went and got another one, because that one broke. So if you are looking to invest in a machine, think about what your intentions are. If you're okay spending $10,000 on a single needle embroidery machine and you're just going to use it for you, boo, that's great. That's the way to go. If you're not really interested in getting the money back that you've put in the machine and you're just doing it for you because you just love that machine, it's just an awesome machine, and you just want to do a little bit here and there, go for it. I decided that I wanted a business. I wanted a business in my house. I have 5 kids to feed, and I wanted to make some money so I could feed my family. And so a single needle embroidery machine could not do that for me. Maybe like a couple here, a couple dollars here and there. But talk about money. What is your goal? When I looked and researched longarm quilting machines, I wanted a machine that would last me the next 20, 30 years, and that I didn't have to but upgrade or invest that much in repairs for it. So that's why I got myself a gamble. Now, it hurt when I bought it. It hurt. It hurt when I bought it because that sucker is expensive, but I've had it since 2008, and that machine still, at this current time, functions like it's brand new. Of course, I've tweaked a couple of things. I've added an upgraded computer, but that machine, it's never broken a bearing. It's never broken on me in the sense of breaking, okay? And when I have a lot of work, that machine is extremely reliable. And that's my point of view of my gamble. Now, having your end in mind, if you want a Longarm quilting machine, there's variations of prices, right? There's little small frame machines. If you want a small frame machine, you're more likely going to go do custom quilting. And also think about this, having your end in mind. I know I keep saying it. If you just want a little gamble or, I don't know, there's different IQ machines, all these different baby lock machines, whatever they are, Longarm quilting. If you just want to quilt your own quilts, or you want to quilt like 5 quilts maybe a month, quilt a day, whatever, maybe a smaller framed, less industrial Longarm quilting machine fits you best. I wanted just a regular Longarm quilting machine without the computerized system. And my husband's a heavy equipment mechanic, and he said, no, get the computer system. You're going to have shoulder, arms, and elbow problems within a couple years if you're Longarm quilting quilts, and it's going to be a lot of harm to your body. Can you quilt 10 quilts in 1 week, and can your body physically handle quilting 10 quilts a week? Can your body handle that kind of work? Now, I know Gamble doesn't tell you any of that, but I have talked to Longarm quilters that do custom quilting. They do have shoulder pain, neck pain, and some of them have arthritis in their elbows, and they do have wrist problems. So if you're an older, more mature woman, I'm 46 now, if you're older, take that in consideration. Yeah, think about that. I got mad at my husband for telling me that because I felt like he was trying to sabotage me and not having the machine. But and the truth is, now that I think about it, as I have the Longarm and all the glitter and glow of wanting it so badly has gone away now that I have it. And the reality has set in on what you have to do to deal with it. Don't tell him. The man was right. He was right. He was right. I am so glad I did it his way, not my way, because he had a long-term health goal for me that I didn't think about. So he was right, okay? So I do recommend that you research in such a way that you talk to people who own the machine. First setting your goals and then having your end in mind do matter, but you need to talk to people who have the machine. It really is important. I remember this lady when I went to talk to her about Longarm quilting. I was going to get a manual Longarm quilting machine, and she told me not to. She says, get what you want, not what you can afford. And I'm really thankful that she told me that because I was willing to purchase a machine that I really didn't want because I just wanted a machine. And she ended up counseling me and saying it's better for you to wait. Or ask Longarmers things that they wish they knew. That is a great way to find out what they wish they knew before they purchased it. Like I talked to a friend who had a Innova, and it had a very square frame. And she says, one of the things I wish I knew is that even though it said it was an 18-inch throat throat space, meaning the space between the machine that it could quilt within that space, as you roll the quilt, you lose the throat space. So in a sense, the throat space is smaller than what Innova says. Yes, when it doesn't have a quilt rolled on it, it is 18, but as you roll the quilt and it thickens it up, you lose some of that space. So that's something a quilter told me, that sometimes that when you roll the quilt, you lose throat space. The people who are selling the machines want the commission that comes with the machine. And one of the things that I found very frustrating is a while back I went to a quilt store and they were selling embroidery machines. This man was a business owner and he wanted to do high volume embroidery work on some patches he wanted to make. And the seller wanted to sell him a $10,000 single needle embroidery machine. And I'm not against single needle embroidery machines, but I know how long it takes to do a job on a single needle embroidery machine, and I felt like the seller was doing a disservice to that client. And the seller did not consider the needs of the buyer. So one of the things I recommend is that you go to people who have your machine. What do they like? What do they hate about them? Talk to people who are invested already in the business and are doing it, and ask them questions that will help you make a decision on purchasing a machine. That's how I did my purchase on my Gamma, talking to Kathy, who used to have a quilt store here in San Antonio. It was Cat's Meow. She was very essential for me on purchasing a computerized system. I really am thankful for her because she told me to buy a machine that had a computerized system instead of a manual if I was intending to use it for business. Now, a computerized system doubled the value of the machine, which kind of sucked. But in the long run, she really was looking out for me because she says that she got the manual, and then when she was doing a lot of clients' work, it was causing her a lot of physical fatigue, and it was hard. And then she upgraded, which she says I lost money in doing the upgrade, when if I would have bought the computerized system, I would have saved money in the long run. So talk to people that are doing what you're interested in doing and kind of pick their brain. I used to go to Kathy's and hang out with her at her shop for I remember hanging out maybe 4 or 5 days within the time frame I was considering purchasing a machine, and just really kind of talking to her about business, how she priced, how the machine worked, the ease of use of the machine. And so take some time in doing research. And when I say research is pick a brain. The more information you have, the better educated you will be when you go purchase the machine. And this way you can't be manipulated when you're standing in front of a sales rep who wants to sell you something that you're not ready to purchase. So as much information you have is better when you go into a business place that has a machine for you to purchase, because you've already done the homework that you needed to do to purchase the machine. I am really thankful that I waited to get the machine I really love, because in the last 10 years that I've had the machine, I've never wanted another machine. And so it was a blessing for me to wait 2 years before I got the machine that I wanted. And what I want to share about that is be willing to wait. When you find that machine that you really, really want and you can't afford it, be willing to wait until you can. There's nothing like buying a machine, one that you can afford, and that is a taskmaster over your life, that it burdens you financially, it burdens you physically, it burdens you. You don't want to buy a machine that you can't afford. And believe me, the dealerships will allow you to sell your soul, and then in the end, you hate your machine, you are burdened financially, you are struggling to pay it, you're yoked down by it, and it's just a problem. And your initial desire to have something to increase the value of your life becomes something that hinders the value of your life. Be willing to wait. Be willing to wait until the moment you can afford it, and also that you can afford it with joy, without burden, without, oh my God, how am I going to pay this next bill? I know some people who've bought Longarm quilting machines, and they're told this wonderful dream that they're going to make this million, thousands of dollars, and she didn't have any clients that month, but she's still needing to pay $800 out of pocket to pay the bill. I just want you to go into this in a very smart and logical manner in making a decision for yourself, that this is for your good, not for your harm. So I really do hope this is helpful, and I hope you like the series. And the next one I want to probably do is probably how to market yourself to get clientele. That's probably the next one. So I really do thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the working. I'll see you in the working, okay? Bye.